Many parents and teachers find themselves supporting a student who seems to be pulled in opposite directions by their own behaviors. One day, this student demonstrates a level of intense, laser-like focus on a specific project that leaves everyone impressed. The very next morning, they are scattered and impulsive, struggling to wait their turn or follow the simplest instruction. This inconsistency often leads to a disciplinary file filled with harsh labels. Adults who don't see the full picture frequently describe these students as difficult, inconsistent, or simply not trying. These behaviors are rarely a matter of effort. They are the result of a neurological overlap where autism and ADHD occur in the same brain, a profile often referred to as ADHD. For those providing support, the experience feels like managing two separate children because the neurological needs of this profile are pulling the student toward conflicting goals. We can map the specific points of friction in this paradox profile by looking at the three arenas where these conditions collide. In the arena of focus, the autistic ability to maintain deep attention on a special interest is constantly disrupted by the ADHD brain's tendency to pull toward new, external distractions. Environmentally, the deep autistic need for routine and predictability clashes with the ADHD hunger for novelty and high-stimulation experiences. Physically, this manifests as a need for sensory quiet and calm, while the ADHD side of the brain generates high energy and a constant drive for physical movement. This creates a social experience where the student is processing complex social cues while simultaneously battling the ADHD urge to blurt out thoughts or interrupt the flow of conversation. This internal conflict creates a profile where the brain is locked in a constant, exhausting tug-of-war with its own competing needs. To an outside observer, these severe internal contradictions often remain invisible. This is due to the masking effect. The hyperactive or impulsive traits of ADHD can effectively camouflage the rigid, structured traits of autism. When the reverse happens, autistic traits like hyperorganization can make a child appear fine on paper, even while they are experiencing the high friction and internal stress of undiagnosed ADHD. Because these conditions can hide one another so effectively, teachers and pediatricians often miss the dual diagnosis for years. Relying on standard checklists often results in under-identification, as the external baseline behavior hides the complex struggle happening underneath. Providing support requires a delicate balance. For instance, a common ADHD strategy like introducing high-energy, novel activities can quickly overwhelm an autistic student who relies on sensory stillness to stay regulated. Conversely, the rigid routine needed to manage autism can lead to the extreme restlessness and shutdown often seen in ADHD. Effective care treats both sides simultaneously, including behavioral skills-based therapy layered with sensory and occupational strategies. These clinical strategies must be codified into accommodations through an IEP or 504 plan, ensuring the same specialized support exists in the classroom as at home. Supporting the odd ADHD profile is about providing a specific, individualized framework that addresses these competing neurological needs in real time. Building this web of specialized care is a major logistical challenge, often exceeding the budget and bandwidth of individual schools and families. MentalSpace School in Georgia addresses this by providing the necessary infrastructure to deploy multi-tiered care directly into the school environment. They provide schools with dedicated teams of licensed, culturally competent therapists who can provide same-day teletherapy to students. This model removes the financial barriers for families by accepting Medicaid with $0 out-of-pocket costs, while helping districts meet state mandates like the HB 268 compliance deadline. The results of this systemic approach are measurable. Schools using this model have seen student attendance improve by 89%, while reported anxiety levels dropped by 92%. The inconsistent behaviors and perceived lack of effort are the outward markers of a complex neurological paradox. With specialized infrastructure, these students can stop merely surviving and start thriving.